Hello and welcome in for Below the Rim Basketball, episode number 34. I am your host, Quinn Carey. As always, if you are joining here on YouTube, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here on the channel watching this video. If you are here, make sure you like this video. Leave me a comment below. I would love to get your takes on my takes. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's at Quinn Carey Talks here on YouTube and at Quinn Carey Talks over on TikTok. Same handle on both, so go check out some of that TikTok content if you're on that platform. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. We passed our goal of 50 after starting this channel. We're now at about 53, up about one more subscriber since Friday. So thank you all for subscribing. Thanks for liking the video, leaving me comments. And we're gonna get right into it. Starting on Monday, we have the Dallas Wings host the Las Vegas Aces. The Aces coming off that dramatic three-point win against the Minnesota Lynx, where Olivia Miles put on a show. Her and Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray were just battling and duking it out there in that one. So the Aces come in a little lethargic, feel like just emptied the tank a little bit in that Lynx game. Didn't have much here, and they get the doors blown off, and they lose by 30 to the Dallas Wings. Wire to wire. Sheesh, there we go. Win for the Wings. That's a tongue twister, I guess, for me. And they led by 19 at halftime, just kind of dominating this one, super balanced scoring effort across the board. You have Azzi Fudd going for 19 points, as efficient as it gets from Azzi. Once again, she goes 8 of 9 from the field, doesn't get a rebound, only give you 1 assist, so didn't do a whole ton else. But again, in this blowout situation, there wasn't a ton of need past that mid-second quarter mark. The Wings kind of started to cruise, and everything was just working for them. Jess Shepard was once again sensational. We're going to talk about her here in a moment. She goes for 15, 15, and 9, an assist shy of a triple-double for Jess Shepard, and a 15-15 double-double. So she's been spectacular, continues to play really well. And then Arike Agumbawale was good in this one. She goes for 22, 4, and 7, and all three of them go off for the Wings. Paige Beckers has a relatively quiet night for the Wings. She goes for 10, 5, and 7. Again, very good stat line. 4 of 11 shooting, not super efficient from Paige. Not the efficiency that we're used to seeing, but again, not a ton of pressure to deliver in this one, and didn't really need her to do much on the scoring side of the ball here in this one. So she was also returning from an ankle injury. She missed the previous game against the Fire, in which the Wings lost due to an ankle injury, I think some ankle soreness. So nothing super serious there. Was a little worried when she missed the Portland game, but seems all is fine for Paige. She looked good out there in her first action back. And again, the Wings just kind of cruise. And we just can't really talk about the Wings enough and how good they've been this season. They have been way ahead of schedule, way ahead of expectations. At this point, obviously, we all thought Paige Beckers was going to make a big leap, but I don't know if I saw some of these additions like Jess Shepard and returning players like Maddie Siegrist, who was out for a lot of last season with injury. I didn't know if I saw them making quite the impact that we're seeing here with the Wings. Alana Smith is not even really playing too much here for them, and she was a big piece coming over. I thought was actually one of the biggest pieces coming over in free agency, but that's proven to be Jess Shepard. And the young players, obviously Arike Agumbawale, the veteran, is still there with Paige. They've all fit perfectly with Azzi. It's worked out despite what a lot of people were saying, and including myself, that there's going to be a backlog there. It's going to be hard to get all of those guards minutes. That has not been the case. They've been able to all play together. They've been all able to flourish out there for the Wings. And it's just been a ton of fun to watch. Obviously, Paige Beckers is showtime. This wasn't her best game, but again, not needed to be her best game. But it was just, she's showtime. Azzi Fudd is a big draw. And this is just a super fun team. Arike Agumbawale, for those that follow the league, that have followed her for a while, know what an electric scorer she is. And now you're adding this element of Jess Shepard, who is just kind of a do-it-all Swiss Army knife for them. And they have become a true contender here in the WNBA, and just a super fun watch on a night in, night out basis for fans, which is super cool. And then just to touch on her a little bit more and talk about the impact that she's made, is that Jess Shepard has been an absolute steal here for the Dallas Wings in the 2026 season. She has made huge improvements from what we saw in her previous spot in Minnesota. And she's just been fantastic for Dallas. She is averaging the season 13.7 points per game. She's averaging 11.6 rebounds per game, to go along with a career high 5.7 assists per game. So she's just doing it all. She's had two triple doubles. And then if you take last night's game where she's an assist shy, you have 3 triple doubles already on the young season. And then you compare her averages. So you take what she's doing this year and then you compare that to what she's done in her career here in the WNBA. She's only averaging 7.5 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists for her career in those categories. So we've just seen a massive spike and a massive jump from her across the board. She has really blossomed and has really exploded onto the scene and has really kind of had a coming out party here in the early portion of the 2026 season here. And then, as I said, she's already posted 2 triple doubles this season, including the historic 22-point, 20 rebound, 10 assist game that she had against the Aces in the last matchup that they had. And then, of course, you have last night where, in this last matchup against the Aces, she goes for 15, 15, and 9. So again, misses that by 1 assist and has just been sensational. She's just been a revelation for them. It's been super fun to watch. Clearly, she has a pretty good matchup against Las Vegas because her historic 22, 20, and 10 triple-double came against the Aces, and then she goes for a 15-15 double-double with 9 assists. So it was practically at another historic mark last night against the Aces. So clearly has a good matchup there. And the Wings have actually now gone in and beaten the Aces twice in their 2 matchups. We'll see them match up again towards the end of the month. But right now the Wings have stolen both of those matchups from the Aces, which could prove to mean something down the road when we do playoff seeding, because everything is just kind of bottlenecking, and these teams all look like they're going to be pretty close in the standings at the end of the year. So, and just again, for Jess Shepard, she's just been a perfect fit for this Dallas team that's super guard heavy with Arike Ogunbowale, Paige Beckers, Azzi Fudd, and she's the perfect balance. She's the perfect Swiss Army knife to go along with those 3 dynamic guards in this Dallas Wings roster. So super excited for Jess Shepard. My buddy back home on the East Coast is a big fan. Whenever I post anything about her or talk anything about her, he's always texting me, Jess Shepard's a dog, and I love it. And this one's for him because she truly is a dog. And huge shout out to Jess Shepard. She has just been fantastic. And she is one of the many reasons why the Dallas Wings have already made the jump that we are seeing them make here early in the 2026 season. So that was that game. I thought it was a very fun game for a quarter and a half. And then it was fun to watch the Wings just kind of do what they do, be as efficient. It was kind of fun. I love watching the Aces. I love A'ja Wilson, but it was kind of fun to watch them get their butts kicked in this one, which you just do not see very often from that Aces team. So I enjoyed seeing that. Enjoyed it for the Wings. I'm happy for them and their fan base that they are really surging here this season. And just to recap for the Aces, A'ja Wilson goes 18, 5, and 2. Jewel Lloyd goes for 21, hits 5 of 9 from 3. So both of them pretty good. A'ja Wilson, obviously, always good. This was actually probably one of the worst games of the season by her standards, and still very good out there, but just not enough. Just felt like the Aces didn't have a lot in the tank, and it felt by halftime they were kind of checked out, moving on to the next one. And yeah, so that's what we have. You had the Wings taking down the Aces by 30 points. This was, as I may have mentioned at the top of the show, this was the first day in WNBA history, Monday, that 3 games all were decided by 20 points or more. So 20-point blowouts or larger. That first time that's ever happened in the WNBA in 3 different games on the exact same day. So that was kind of interesting. Kind of made it easy viewing, and you kind of watched through 2.5, 3 quarters, and a lot of these games were kind of out of hand. Had a chance to watch some end of bench players, some role players, some young players get in some of these games, and got to see kind of what they look like and get a little taste of what's to come on some of these rosters. So that was pretty fun.